So Drake is back with Bobbi, and hip hop is very upset with it for some weird reason. No, I get it. You guys expected the guy to do an interview with you guys who has been practically ostracized or looked at, yo, you don't belong here since his infancy in the effing game. Is it a shocker why he'd be like, yeah, I don't want to be with you guys in the slightest? And you guys generally give boring and forgettable interviews too. Especially what happened last year and this year too. Especially last year and this year. No duh, Drake doesn't want to be pressed about, yo, how do you feel about the beef, bro? What was going on in your head when you and Kendrick dissing? Why do you talk in Tupac's voice and say, talk about like young girls? And why you suing like a hoe? This would be majority of the questions you guys ask him. Don't forget the super interesting topic, like, yo, who's in top 5 right now? Yo, what type of music you're working on right now, bro? When's your album dropping? How do you feel about Iceman? How do you feel about Instant Gold #1? How do you feel about Lucy and Grange right now? The same boring interviews we've been getting in hip-hop for years. And I do generally think Drake would do an interview with a hip-hop media source, probably just a Yes Man or whatever, like a DJ Academics or a Mao or Rory and Mao. And they'd ask him safe and boring questions that he want to talk about in prep time. And don't get me wrong, hip-hop journalists are generally significantly better than Bobbi Artalk when it comes to like structuring an interview and asking questions and stuff and making it seem, I guess, more interesting in some cases in terms of making an interview flow. Their previous interview was a moment, and it did form clips, actual interesting clips, and it's a completely different vibe and experience type of interview that someone generally wants to try. So I don't blame Drake for doing this, and Drake would be the type of person to do this in general. I have no doubt that Drake owns a bit of a podcast, especially with these guys falling out in a weird way too last year, or like two years ago, especially with her condescending and dismissive attitude towards black people and like hip-hop culture in general. That's just the way it comes across. You know, typical white people stuff. Like, yeah, I'm not interested in what you guys doing or saying right now, but I'm gonna still the lingo. I'm gonna dress a particular way because like the girl power, stuff like that. I meant like, you know, colonization power going crazy right now. Besides that, actual interviews I want to see hip-hop journalists try to do or something like Hot Ones. Take me out. I want to try how hot these wings are and how good the food is, bro. Take me out to a restaurant. Or try not to laugh challenge, maybe with an actual comedian, an actual funny one. Doing a live show with Kai shows a more human and relatable side to these guys. And it makes it seem like a genuine person, like actual approach and stuff. While giving them good energy and gassing their self-esteem. Even with these two idiots, Aiden Ross and XQ, blah blah blah. See, albums are too hard to listen to, bro. I want to catch a vibe only. Like words don't matter in the slightest. So Drake wants to have a super awkward and cringy conversation with her. Let him. I'm definitely not gonna watch it, but I at least know it's going to be a different experience. When Drake is usually doing something dumb and idiotic thing, I'm usually on your guys' sides with it. But this one, I'm like, yo, let him do his own thing. This is some pop star behavior, and he's definitely a pop star, so